Okay, welcome back to another episode of Third and 23. I'm your host, Alex, here to bring you another pick and prediction video. This time we're talking week 6 of the NFL season. Went 2-1 last week, so only did 3 games last week. Even up my record at 500, 5-5. So now it's time to get over 500, right? Time to keep grinding. In this video, I'm going to have 5 games for you. So let's see if we do a little better when we increase the amount of games that I do. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to start it off with the game in the UK. Broncos 7-point favorites on playing the New York Jets. This game, for me, it's about pressure, right? Broncos, the number 1 pressure team in the NFL. They bring heat. They get after the quarterback. The Jets, 29th in the league in pass protection and allowing pressure. 26% of the pass snaps they're allowing pressure. Broncos, 33% of pass snaps they're bringing pressure. So you got to assume that Justin Fields, he's going to be kind of running for his life in this game. Then you throw in the fact that third downs, the Jets are 28th in the league in converting third downs. The Broncos are 3rd in the league in preventing third downs. So now if you think about it, all right, get a 3rd and long, get the 3rd and medium. Broncos bringing heat. They're going to get after them because the Jets can't protect them. And Broncos do get after them. So the way I see it is I see a lot of maybe not necessarily 3 and outs, could be some 3 and outs, but a lot of drives for the New York Jets that don't really get anywhere. It's going to lead to a lot of punts in this one. Then on the offensive side of the ball, Broncos 4th in the league running the football right now with J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey being a good 1-2 duo. Jets rush defense 27th in the league. So you got to think, well, the Broncos are probably going to be able to move the ball on the ground in this one, and that's going to set up play action for Bo Nix. The Jets haven't really lived up to the billing in terms of pass defense with Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner, I don't know if anybody been paying attention. He's been getting kind of busted up. He's been kind of busted up this season. So I think it's going to lead to some play action. I think you're going to see Courtland Sutton catch a few balls down the field. Maybe Marvin Mims gets hit on a deep throw as well in this one. And I just like the Broncos to kind of methodically basically punish the Jets in this game. Go ahead and give me the Broncos. I'm going to lay the 7. I don't really see how the Jets are going to score much in this game. I can't see them getting more than 2 touchdowns in this game. So I think the Broncos get to mid-20s. They should be able to cover this. All right, moving on to the next game. We've got the Dallas Cowboys visiting the Carolina Panthers. Cowboys 3-point favorite on the road in Carolina. This is a game where both of these teams can't really play defense. I've said before, I think the Cowboys are the worst defense in the league. Maybe they're improving on that a little, I don't know. But still, 22nd versus the run, 32nd versus the pass in terms of yards per attempt. But Carolina, they're not a very good defense either. So this is a game where I think you're going to see both offenses are going to probably be hitting a few haymakers here and there. So how do I say this game playing out? As far as it's gonna have to be, is Dak better than Bryce? Was Bryce Young better than Dak Prescott? Because if you look in terms of the running game, Rico Dowdle for the Carolina Panthers, 206 yards last week for the Dolphins, but he's not running for 2 bills 2 weeks in a row, despite the fact that Cowboys are a soft run defense. So I don't think the Carolina's going to get that level of run game, that level of balance. So again, Bryce Young, he's going to have to be better than Dak Prescott in this one, and he's gonna have openings. The Cowboys, their starting corners, Deron Bland and Trevon Diggs. I don't know if either one of them are gonna play. They're both ruled as questionable. If they're both out, that's really gonna open up things for Carolina. I'm going into this assuming that they're gonna play though, maybe be limited. And then on the flip side of that, also on top of that though, you got to consider the fact that Bryce, is Bryce Young that guy? 29th in the league, pass offense yards per attempt, and he hasn't been that guy. Then you look at the Cowboys side, Dak has been here and done that. You know what Dak is. Dak can put the ball in the air, down the field, make plays in the third. They are 3rd in the league right now in pass offense yards per game. So when I'm looking at this, I see a team that Carolina can't really pressure the quarterback. Dak Prescott's going to have a lot of time to find George Pickens, Jake Ferguson, and others down the field. He's going to have balance with his resurgent Javonte Williams, who's making plays on the ground against a Carolina defense that's not very strong. Bryce Young going against the Cowboys defense is not very strong, but they're gonna have to depend on Rico Dowdle. I don't know if you want to depend on him or not. And then Bryce Young, who's 29th in the league in terms of passing the yards per attempt, so he's not getting the ball down the field. So because of that, go ahead and give me the Cowboys. I'm gonna lay the 3 on the road. It should be an easy game for Dallas. All right, moving on. We have the Chargers visiting the Dolphins. Chargers 4-point favorite. Big thing in this game for me is injuries. Talking about health, the top three offensive tackles for the Los Angeles Chargers are out for this game. So both of their starters are out. Then one of the backups who became the starter because of injury, he's out. So there's a lot of health issues there on the offensive line. Then at running back, their top two running backs are out. So now you're down to the third and fourth string guy. One guy who's like a practice squad player. So what are the Chargers are really limited offensively for as far as on the O line and the ground game. I don't think it's going to be there. I think you're looking at a one dimensional attack, despite the fact that the Dolphins stink against the run. Then you have Herbert, 6.9 yards per attempt. He's kind of faded a little bit since that hot start he had this season. So you would like to see him. And Quentin Johnson, by the way, he's questionable. I don't know if he's going to play, but you'd like to see him get to Keenan Allen and Ladd McConkey. Ladd McConkey, he's not picking up where he left off last season. He needs to get more involved in that offense. And on the flip side, you got the Dolphins. Devon Achane's averaging 4.2 yards a carry. If you the Dolphins are like 30th in the league rushing the football, something like that. If you give the ball to Achane and let him work, you might find some success in this game. The Chargers give up 4.8 yards a carry, so you can find it in this game. So I think the Dolphins can't have some kind of balance in this game. And with those offensive tackles out, I wanted to note that too. With those offensive tackles out, they're going against the Dolphins, 8th in the league in terms of pressure rate. So I think you're going to see Justin Herbert have to get passes out quicker than he'd like to, and that's going to help out this Dolphins defense kind of keep that Chargers offense under control. Particularly the fact that you got these backup running backs in the game. So because of that, I mean, I know it's it's a cross country trip to Miami. Always got to throw that, factor that in. Because of all of that, I like the Dolphins, and I'm taking the +4 at home. I don't know if they're going to win the game. Harbaugh cook something up and win this game, but 4 points at home against an injury depleted offense. I like my odds there. All right, moving on to the next game. It's going to be the Patriots visiting the Saints. Patriots, 3.5 point favorite in this one. If this is the one game I got wrong last week, right? I took the Giants over the Saints because the Saints, I believe, are the worst team in the league. And you know what? I still believe that. So the Saints, you're coming in this game, you got a hobbled Alvin Kamara at running back, right? Don't know if he's going to play, but he's definitely not going to be healthy going against the fourth-ranked rush defense in the NFL. I don't like Saints odds there on the ground. I think the Saints rushing game is going nowhere. So now you're talking one-dimensional. You're talking Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler, he's going to do it in the air. Spencer Rattler averages 5.6 yards per attempt. He's not stretching the field. He's not stressing the defense. So everybody's going to be up in the box to stop either Alvin Kamara or Kendre Miller. Saints offense is going to nowhere in this game. Team has scored over 20 points on offense only once this season. Remember, last week they had a defensive touchdown. Only once this season have they cleared 20 points. I don't see them clearing 20 against the Patriots in this game. I think the Pats defense will shut them down cold. And then you talk Drake May, 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns, 2 picks, 8.1 yards per attempt, or 8.2 yards per attempt, something like that through the air. Drake May's stressing teams. He's stressing the defense. The big question for the Patriots is who's going to run the ball. It's inconsistent. Ramondre Stevenson, he fumbles the ball like seemingly every game. I don't know. And then Trevion Henderson, they're just not really giving him the opportunities. Maybe he doesn't know pass protection that well yet or something like that. He's definitely the better running back, but they're not giving him enough opportunities. Let's see if they do it in this game. But despite all of that, Drake May is going to cook this team. The Saints aren't really going to do anything on offense. Give me the Patriots. I'm going to lay the 3.5. I'm going to bet against the Saints 2 weeks in a row. This isn't Jackson Dart. This isn't, that's one thing I also wanted to point out. The Saints were dominated last week, but they kept forcing turnovers, and that's why they had that win. I don't know if that's going to happen 2 weeks in a row. So go ahead and give me the Patriots, like I said, and laying the 3.5. All right, and the final game, fifth game, 49ers visiting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. These are two teams that just play clutch football, right? Bucks are 3.5 point favorite in this game. You talk about the 49ers. They're top 5 in the league in terms of converting third downs and preventing third downs. And the Buccaneers are a team that can't really say the same thing. Kind of struggle as far as getting teams off the field somewhat. So I can see Mac Jones kind of converting third downs, keeping the team on the field. McCaffrey, he can't run the ball this year for whatever reason. 3.1 yards a carry. And the Bucks defense, rush defense is for real. So he's not going to be able to run it. But the Bucks have had issues stopping running backs out of the backfields. And I think that's perfectly plays into what the 49ers like to do. I think Mac Jones is going to hit off McCaffrey like he's been doing. McCaffrey leads the team in receptions and yards. I think you're going to see a lot of that. I think McCaffrey's going to have a big game out of the backfield against these Tampa Bay linebackers. And then health, right? We've talked about hell about the 49ers, but some of them are stud players, some of them are just guys. Let's be honest. We talk about the Bucks, man. They're about Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Bucky Irving. Those are big hits to the offense. I know Emeka's killing, but Emeka against the seventh ranked pass defense, that's going to be kind of tough. Both of these teams play clutch football. Both of these teams make plays down the stretch. And it's because of that, I like the hook in this one. That's why I wanted to do this game. I'm going to take the 49ers with the plus 3.5. That half point might become valuable in this game. But I like this one going down to the end. So anyway, that wraps it up. 5 games on tap. Let's see if we can keep it pushing. See if we keep it grinding. In my NFL picks and predictions. If you like the content, please like, comment, subscribe, all of that. And take care.